Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks have re-signed defenseman Olli Juolevi to a one-year contract. And when it comes to RFAs, make that 1 down, 3 to go. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, August the 9th. If you're new, you know what to do. Subscribe now for Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Happy birthday, happy 45th birthday to my brother Jason, Canuck_J on Twitter. We're still very close after all these years, 45 years to be exact, obviously, because I'm older. Very talented, very generous, very faithful, great family man, a lot of fun, good athlete. So many good things about him, very creative. I'm not sure if I said that, but he's the one who also helps me with a lot of my Canucks music, especially the more produced type songs. So once again, happy birthday to my brother Jason. And if you saw, I was all day at Tsawwassen Mills with my two lovely ladies, my lovely wife Gail, my lovely daughter Kayla. And if you're following my adventures on Twitter or Instagram, you'll just say that it was great to have some family time, but I'm never going to do that again. Okay, let's get to the news of today. The Vancouver Canucks have re-signed defenseman Olli Juolevi. He was one of 4 restricted free agents. Still Jason Dickinson, who filed for salary arbitration, and of course the big 2 of Ellis Pettersson and Quinn Hughes. Those are the 3 that still need to be signed, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about this Olli Juolevi contract. 1 year for only $750,000. And I think we can read a lot into this, the fact that it's 1 year. By the way, it's 1 year, one way, meaning he only gets paid one way. I.e., if he's in the minors, he's going to make $750,000. If he's with the big club, he's going to make $750,000. Sometimes you hear about a two-way deal. That means you get paid 2 ways. You get paid cheaper if you're in the minors, i.e., $100,000, $80,000, $150,000, whatever. And then you get paid more if you're with the pro club. With Juolevi, it is only a one-way, so that means he gets paid the same. He gets $750,000, whether he's in Abbotsford or whether he's in Vancouver. But it's only $750,000, and it's only a year. So I think we can read into this a few things. Obviously, he was the 5th overall pick, as you know, in 2016, and hasn't lived up to the hype, to the expectations. A really slow start to his career. And I've been very patient with Juolevi. I've always had true high hopes for him, or at least higher hopes for him than many, I'd say, of the average Canucks fans. A lot of people think about who got drafted after Juolevi and their wish that we had one of those guys. I get that argument. But when Juolevi has been in the lineup, he's been good and bad. He's made some good decisions with the puck. He's got a really good first pass out of the defensive zone, but he is not the fastest skater. And we've seen him get walked a couple times on the outside. So 1 year at $750,000, it's showing that basically he's got maybe one more chance to show the Canucks what he can do. So I'm just reading off the press release. Club has signed Olli Juolevi to a 1 year contract at $750,000. Jim Benning said last season was an important step in Olli's development as an everyday NHL defenseman. We're glad to have him signed and look forward to his game progressing further next season. So he's 23 years old. He appeared in 23 games last year, and he had 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist. But I think the biggest thing here is obviously that he was drafted now 5 years ago, and it's time for him to start making a dent in this lineup. He's already been passed, of course, by guys like Quinn Hughes, I'd say Jack Rathbone, and then there's no guarantee that he's going to make this team, because I think already Rathbone has the upper hand for that third left shot, D slot behind Ekman Larson, behind Hughes. And then you could say that Brad Hunt is also going to be in the hunt for, no pun intended, actually pun completely intended. By the way, did I tell you that I was visiting some friends on Thursday and they live on the same street as Brad Hunt's family? I was almost tempted to go down and knock on their door, but I thought that might be a little bit stalkerish. But yes, Brad Hunt lives on the same street in Maple Ridge as a few of my best friends, a couple of my best friends, and Brad Hunt is probably going to fight Olli Juolevi for that 4th spot, if not that 3rd spot on the left side. But anyways, back to Juolevi. What's interesting about this contract too is that it's cheaper than his previous contracts. His entry-level contract, basically it was $863,000 the last 3 years, $863,000, and instead of going up from $863,000, it is now down to $750,000. So biggest things to note here, it's 1 year, it's $750,000, but it's one way. He gets paid one way. That means whether he's in the minors or up on the big club, he's going to make $750,000. Now, what does that mean for the rest of the money? The rest of the money that has to go to Pettersson, Hughes, and Dickinson. Well, this is really good, actually. Remember, I said that once you factor in Michael Furlan's LTIR cap relief of $3.5 million, the Canucks are going to have between 19 and 19.5 million or so. You subtract 750 grand. The Canucks are still going to have 18 to 18.5 million for all three of Pettersson, Hughes, and Dickinson. Let's say Dickinson's going to make at the high end 3 million. Now you're down to 15 to 15.5 million. If you go bridge for Pettersson and Hughes, like I've been talking about, maybe Pettersson comes in at 7.5, maybe Hughes comes in at 6.5. That's a total of 14. You still have a million and a half left for some wiggle room, some buffer room, so to speak. You can even try and go long term with Pettersson, but is that looking like an $8 or $9 million contract? Then Hughes at 6 or 6.5. So let's say you go long with Pettersson and you go, 8.5 or 9. You go bridge for Hughes, that's at 6.5. So even at 6.5 and 9, that's 15.5. And Dickinson, that's 18.5 with that 3. That's very tight. That's basically right up to kind of the maximum. And now we're talking about really counting dollars to the dollar. So I think if they wanted to, they could try and go Pettersson, but to a max of 9 million long. You could do 8 and 8.5. Hughes at 6 or 6.5, if that's the number. But Hughes might want more, right? He's seeing all the money that guys like Jones and Nurse and Ruenski and Makar and Heiskanen are making. So yes, we expected Juolevi to be $1 million or less. So 750, that's good. But it doesn't get us necessarily any closer to figuring out what the contracts are going to be for Pettersson or Hughes. I've always said Dickinson earmarked $3 million for him. That will leave about 15 to 15.5 now for Pettersson and Hughes. If you go bridge for those guys, even conservatively at 7.5 and 6.5, then that's 14. Do you try and go long term with Pettersson, but you can only really go 8.5 or 9? Will they take that? And is even 6.5 for Hughes a realistic bridge deal? So lots to think about. But the main thing here is Juolevi signed for a year. He's going to fight with Rathbone and Brad Hunt for that third left spot on the blue line, and we'll see where he goes from here. We'll see if he's able to carve out a successful NHL career, starting now with his second contract, which basically starts today. Canucks fans, leave a comment below. Are you fine that they signed Juolevi, especially for that rate of 750 grand? Do you wish actually that they didn't qualify him and that they kind of moved on from him? Or do you think that they should have paid him more? Or do you think he's worth more? Whatever. Let me know what you think. I love to read your comments down below. And of course, what does, if anything, does this change in your mind? How they're going to approach signing Dickinson, Pettersson, and Hughes. Shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, Shea Family Channel, Shannon Hollingworth, and Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support as always. And thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Once again, leave a comment below. What do you think of this 1 year, 750 grand deal for Olli Juolevi? Happy birthday to my brother Jason. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.